Happy Halloween! I'm going to be talking about oil pulling, and I'm going to get into details. What is oil pulling? Why is it important? And what is the difference between pulling with just coconut oil or regular oils or the Guru Nanda oil? And I'm also going to delve deep into the different ingredients in each of these oils. So let's start with what is oil pulling. Oil pulling is actually a traditional Indian Ayurvedic way that has been there for thousands of years in Ayurveda being preached, that is a part of the daily morning routine. Daily morning routine. So whenever people actually even buy our product nowadays, the Guru Nanda product, they swish with it for a few days, they get a little better, and then they stop it. No, it is actually a part of daily routine. Back in the day in Ayurveda, this was not just for the dental usage. This was a way to detox your body, detox your entire mouth, detox your entire body. Because according to Ayurveda, there's a little pump system below our tongue which helps detox. And I'll get into detail on that one also in a different video, how that works. But in the meanwhile, let me explain. You take any oil, and back in the day in India, it used to be sesame oil because coconut oil was mostly in Kerala or Sri Lanka or certain Mediterranean regions. So sesame oil was the oil of choice. So we do have a product called advanced oil pulling that has sesame oil base. But sesame oil is not necessarily liked by the Western world. So we saw that in America, coconut oil became the oil of choice. The reason was early on, Dr. Fife and some of those guys who went to Philippines got coconut oil, really got into oil pulling with coconut oil. Let me decipher what is coconut oil and why it is a great oil as well. Now that you got oil pulling, what you do with oil, whether it is coconut oil or sesame oil, is you put it in your mouth and you swish the regular oil for a longer length of time, anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. That's a lot of time. I don't have that. Neither do most Americans. So that was one of the reasons Guru Nanda came into existence, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. Once you're actually swishing with this oil for extended period of time, you're detoxing your entire mouth, of course, because you're loosening those biofilms. You're pulling all those bad bacteria, debris that is in your mouth that brushing alone can't reach, and you're spitting it out. Make sure you never gulp it back in. Never. Because it's all full of toxins. You never want to do that. Number two, once you've oil pulled, you actually wash your mouth with salt water, and you brush your teeth with neem's twigs, how they used to do it back in the day in India, and you go by your day. And you're also doing neti pot, and you're doing yoga and other things that are part of the morning regimen. We'll make a separate video about the morning regimen as per Ayurveda. Now, fast forward 100, 200 years, Guru Nanda comes into existence. We originally make a product with sesame oil. It's called the original oil pulling. Then we make advanced oil pulling. And then finally, we saw that the coconut oil was the one that was being most used by most people to do oil pulling, which is great. Now, let me decipher what is coconut oil. Coconut oil normally comes like this. It is actually frozen. You see that? And right now, it's pretty warm. It's still frozen because at 76 degrees Fahrenheit or below, it freezes. So by the time you scoop it, put it in your mouth, and start really using it, it's a lot of work for the jaw. So a lot of people drop it, almost 50% of the people, because they don't enjoy the taste. They don't enjoy scooping it, putting in the mouth, getting jaw pain. Not a very fun experience. And then the compliance becomes even further less because they have to do it from 5 to 20 minutes. That's a lot of time. And another big problem, actually, before I go, people were actually swishing with it and spitting it in the drains. And most of these people are on the East Coast. And then when they spit into the drains, again, the water is cold, it freezes up and it clogs their drains. So huge problem there too. So not only jaw pains, but your drains clogged. So you're getting beating from your family members as well. Now, fast forward, Guru Nanda comes into play. We set our scientists to actually start deciphering coconut oil. Coconut oil is made up of several carbon chains: C6, C8, C10, C12, C14, C16, C18, C20. We saw that the best chain that works antibacterial is the lauric acid, which is C12. But C12 also freezes. So we took fractions of C8, C10, which are medium chain triglycerides. I'm sure you guys know about that. These are the ketogenic diet because Bulletproof Coffee became very famous for it. We took those two, plus we took some parts of C12 to give you that antibacterial effect. But then we saw that the antibacterial effect that we wanted to decrease the bacterial overload in the mouth wasn't to the extent that we wanted if we increased the C12. What do? We started looking at different options in essential oils. What are essential oils? Essential oils are very, very potent, concentrated versions of certain plants and leaves and trees that have extreme potency. These are actually steam distilled mostly, or sometimes they are taken CO2 extracts. But for all practical purposes, we put 7 essential oils, which are mostly steam distilled. So we chose 7 of them. Which ones did we choose? Number 1, peppermint oil. Peppermint oil. Why peppermint oil? Because most people who are putting peppermint in their toothpaste or in their mouthwashes nowadays is actually peppermint that's not even from the farm. So you're not getting any therapeutic value. You're just getting the flavor, and that flavor could actually be a toxin in certain cases. Now, not all companies are doing that, but certain of them, yes, they are doing that. We put peppermint oil to freshen your breath. Peppermint oil has menthol. It also makes sure if you're having a little pain here and there, takes care of that. Plus, keeps your breath freshened up and energizes you, wakes you up. It's like coffee for your mouth. Peppermint oil, the farmed one, is like coffee for your mouth. The second oil we added was spearmint oil. Spearmint also is a little sweeter tone, so it really makes it really good. The taste together combination is just unbelievable, heavenly. Number 3, cardamom. Cardamom is carbonative. Fourth, fennel. Fennel helps with salivary glands stimulation, so you produce more saliva. 5, tea tree oil. It is known as natural antiseptic. Oregano oil. It's known as natural antibiotic. And then last but not the least, clove oil, my favorite. Clove oil is a natural anesthetic, but it's also antimicrobial. It's also an unbelievable oil when it comes to anything related to the mouth. I love clove. If you're not going to use clove, use neem instead. But clove, easy to get, and everybody has it. In case you're having a pain in your teeth, if you've got nothing around you, go to a grocery store, get these clove buds, and just bite on them, and you'll see a relief in seconds. It's so powerful. It's the eugenol content inside clove which really works. We also added vitamin D3 because D3 is very important for your bones and bone health. Your mouth is healthy if your entire structure of your teeth are healthy. Now, we also have K2 so that the calcium doesn't stick to the enamel. It actually goes where it belongs, which is to the bones. And vitamin E is important for the mucosa, the skin health within the mouth. All in all, this was a perfect product that we produced. It's the cocoa mint. We wanted to improve on it. And by the way, let me tell you the difference first. This was messy. It had difficulty swishing. This one, very easy to swish. Almost like water. And doesn't get solidified like this. So it is 15% of this oil is in here. The rest is waste. We sell it to the companies that make laundry detergent powders. So the rest of that, no bueno, no good for us. We are giving you the best part of coconut oil when we give you this. Even if you had spit it in your drains, it's not going to clog your drain. Although I still spit it in my bin just to be extra careful. I don't want to call ever a drain guy just in case it's super cold. By the way, I live in LA, so it doesn't really matter, but I am just letting you know it's your choice. I also don't want anything messy, but in case you do, it's not going to harm you. You don't need to swish 5 to 15 to 20 minutes. You're good enough if you swish just 2 minutes. By the way, I still swish between 5 to 10 minutes because you get much better effect. Because I do it not just for my teeth, I do it also to detox myself. Ayurveda says that, but it has not literally proved in scientific documentation about the detoxification of other parts of the body. I'm going to make a video of it. I actually had posted one 5, 7, 8 years ago. I'm going to make another one about that. Now, a lot of you were saying, we have been teeth grinding. We've been grinding at night. And what do we do for that? So I also realized that back in the day when I was starting to have a lot of sensitivity, I used potassium nitrate toothpastes. I used everything. And one thing I saw that really worked for me was I went and bought a little night guard from a regular drugstore chain. I did a boil and bite thing. And by the way, it was like magic. I wore it that night. Next day morning, I didn't have that sensitivity. So I knew something was working. So I went to my dentist. I got a little night guard made that was professionally made. But in the meanwhile, I knew there was a problem. What was the problem? It's the extreme stress that we encounter, the fight or flight syndrome that we go through. Live in LA. Driving in LA is like craziness sometimes. People show you middle fingers. They do all kind of funny stuff. And you're so angry, you don't know what to do. By the time you sleep at night, all that anger, pent up anger, actually is going to become subconscious stress. That subconscious stress is going to come in 2, 3 ways. Number one, you're going to brush harder. Number two, when you're sleeping, you're actually grinding your teeth. You're upset. And that upsetness may not show in the daytime, but those teeth, you're actually harming yourself. So what we did was something amazing. Normally people pay $8, $10, $12 just for this. We are giving it out free for the time being so that you can actually experience what it is for one night to be not grinding. You take this little thing, put it in boiling hot water and take it out. Use some kind of a tongler to do that. Don't burn your hands. And once you take it out, make sure it is wearable. It's not super hot. Don't burn yourself again. And you actually put it on top of your teeth and just form a little structure around your teeth. So this thing will form almost like a tray for that night. Brush your teeth. After you're done brushing, flossing, everything, put it on your teeth and sleep that night. You will see such a huge difference next day morning. All that sensitivity would have gone down so aggressively because you were night grinding. So what is the reason of night grinding? Stress, right? One of the biggest reasons is stress. There could be several other reasons, but I'm going to go into one only, which is stress. And so we have, apart from that, by the way, a tongue scraper, a butter and gums toothbrush, which you already know. But so what I did in this particular one, the cinnamon one, and by the way, this product comes only in the ashwagandha cinnamon product right here, the red one. And why? Because ashwagandha has been known for the cortisol. If you have high cortisol, what is cortisol? Cortisol is a hormone that is produced by your body whenever you're overstressed, whenever you're in a sympathetic state. Ashwagandha, it actually works against cortisol. So we wanted to address the root problem so that you don't grind your teeth. But we wanted to give you the effect and see. In case this works, go get your night guard made from your dentist. But in the meanwhile, start using that as a secondary aid. This alone is not going to do anything. You have to do it in combination. You have to use this, you have to do this. This does slowly affect because we have to put this in minute ratio so that it really works. through your sublingual system. It takes time. When you do use this, you will see a lot of relief over the period. This also has Roman chamomile, which is again helps you with stress, also helps you sleep better. Apart from all this, this also has neem. Neem is another amazing ingredient. According to Ayurveda, it is one of the most antimicrobial plants in the whole world. We've put in neem extract so that when you use this, in case you have any issues related to mouth, those hopefully can get resolved and you can have happy gums, happier mouth. Don't forget, all of this has to come in regimen with brushing, flossing, water flossing, rinsing. Everything has to be included. This alone is no magic bullet. Nothing in here that I'm saying, again, you should take as a word in gold. You need to always ask your dentist because you may be having some major issues. You need your dentist to determine. Ask your dentist if he's okay with you using it. I gave you a good amount of detail. So this, apart from all these 3 other new items, is all the items that were in here as well. So you get those added items in the cinnamon oil pulling. So by the way, this also has Ceylon cinnamon, and Ceylon cinnamon, is known for its insulin resistance capability as well. I'll get to another video on that also. So wanted to get you a little ABC about oil pulling, what is the difference, and in case you do not have the resources to buy this, please start using this, which is fine. I know this is cheaper version, and if you are okay with this, use this. And if you want to make it a little flavorful, you can always buy Guru Nanda peppermint oil and add a couple of drops of peppermint and enjoy that. If you don't have even those resources to go buy this coconut oil, use any oil that is in your kitchen available, whatever you have, and start trying to use that. At least get into the regimen. Oil pulling will change your life. That I can guarantee you. And in case you found this video useful, please subscribe to my channel. Please ensure you share it. And please comment whatever you want. I will be very thankful. Namaste.